All right, Rippers. No fun intro today because this is a serious video that I've been putting off for a while. This is the story with detailed proof of PSA damaging my biggest pull that I've possibly ever had. The full art Arceus Dialga and Palkia from Cosmic Eclipse that we pulled in a video on the channel. Yes, it's going to be a video unlike, hopefully that I never do again, of anything like this sort, but I wanted to do this because I'm not trying to throw shade on PSA or anything like that, but I used to be one, I don't know about you guys, that I'd go on Reddit and I'd see these claims of people sending their cards off and they'd come back damaged, and like, not saying that I didn't believe them, but part of me was like, really? And well, it happened to me. It couldn't have happened with a worse card, because this is one of the most meaningful cards to me in my entire collection, which I will get to just why that is. But if you are first joining us or have not seen the pull of us doing it, we opened this Cosmic Eclipse box back on New Year's for celebration. I'm going to play that clip now. Guess he must be... Okay, so this is the hit card. I do know that, so I'm glad I messed up on this one.
Oh, okay. So we just spoiled it?
We did just... No, we didn't spoil it. We know we have a hit, though.
Okay.
Which is good. And I'm just going to fat finger it.
Beautiful. No, that's the technique.
No one saw that, and I'm just going to fat finger all the way to the reverse slot. So we're going to speed through these a bit. Oh, a little baby. Oh boy, a little baby said in the rain. All right, Ponyta into. Ooh,
whoa, okay.
We do have texture on this, guys. We do have texture on this. Do we go slow? What do we have? Oh, there's. So, as you can see, I was extremely excited, and this, because what it really was, and I was overly excited, to be honest, a little too obnoxious, but this card, to me, was one of those cards I always loved, and I just wrote it off at this point, coming back into the hobby, only about 2 years ago at this point, that as a card I never would pull. Like, this was going to be the only time that I ever opened a Cosmic Eclipse booster box, period. You know, it was $1,000 back then. I just checked. They're over $2,500. And to pull the exact one card that it was my full chase card from the set, I just never dreamed of. Like, it was such a far off thing that I just wrote it off. And what's even crazier is, like, I have it in my head that one day I'll pull the Gold Star Rayquaza. Like, I believe that for some reason. So pulling this card was just unreal to me, because I wouldn't have done it without the channel. I would have never opened this box. Just, there's so many things that led up to this being just not a thing. And then it happened. So, because not that I'm a huge grader, I'm not really into grading cards, but because I really wanted to preserve this card, it was one that I wanted to grade. Also, this card was perfect, and I don't say that often, and I looked at this card for, I don't know, hours, just going over it, making sure, and that's going to play in the story here for just a second, but I really wanted to set it off. I didn't really care what it got, but I knew this card had a chance at a 10. So here's where this begins, and why I say I have the most amount of proof of this possible. And it begins with me sending it to Beckett. Which you can obviously see, this is in a PSA slab now, so you can kind of jump to a conclusion how it's going to go. Also, I'm going to be throwing up screenshots of the card. Obviously, you'll be seeing them. I'm not sure which side I'm going to put them on, so I'm not going to be like pointing to them or not. So, send it to Beckett. waited for a while, because I truly thought this card had a chance at a black label. And it's... I knew it probably wouldn't, but even a 9.5 and a Beckett on this card was worth more at the time than a PSA 10. I have not checked what the new Beckett grade values are, but as of right now, this card in a PSA 10 is $1,750. So who knows what it would be worth in a black label now? I don't know. $2,500, $3,000, who knows? I don't really care about the value because this card was never going to leave my collection. Which also brings to a point of this later. So, send it to Beckett, get my grading back from Beckett, and it's a 9. You'll see in the screenshot that it came back as a 10 in one category, a 9 in other, and 9.5 in the other two categories. Or maybe I have that wrong. Wait, no, I'm pretty sure that's right. Anyway. So, wasn't thrilled with that, and at just a 9, a PSA 10 would be higher in value. So I was like, all right, let's crack it, resend to PSA. So I cracked it extremely efficiently because I am very calculated when it comes to these things, and it was a flawless crack. I pulled it out, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I'll be showing a picture of it too. I think I have one. I hope I have one still. Beckett, when they seal the cards in the slab, they actually put the card in their sleeve. And this is not like a penny sleeve you can open. Once they're in this sleeve, you have to basically cut the sleeve open to get them out. So I sent it like that, resent to PSA. Paid for a little bit, expeditedness on it, because I didn't want to wait as long as I already sent it off. This whole thing took place over probably about 4 months, I want to say. And sent it to PSA. Got the emails, notification that the grade had been done, and I wasn't even going to look at it just for the fun of it. But for some reason... well, I don't think it was for some reason. I think assistant asked to look, and she just, wouldn't tell me what it was. And so she, I handed her the thing, I tell her the information to look at it or log in or whatever, and I can see her face just become confused, for lack of a better word. And I was like, what is that, And she goes, I don't understand. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't understand? And so she hands me the phone, and this had gotten a 5 from PSA. A Beckett 9 to a PSA 5, nothing had changed. I was furious. And like I said back earlier in the video about the things I would read on Reddit, one of them was the trope about the, grader just found out that his, wife's been cheating on him and just lost the gamble and all these other different tropes. I sent one of the worst emails I have probably ever full sent in my life to PSA. I truly feel bad for whoever got to read that first. I hope they just laughed their ass off at it. But, yeah, I was mad as poo. So, I didn't even expect to get a response. It was so just mean. However, PSA brought it back, or emailed me back, and said they were incredibly nice in the email. And they asked specifically in it, if further emails could be made without profanity. And I was just like, all right, I gotta change my tune a wee bit here to maybe see what's going on. So, in their first response, and I had forgotten about this, I actually wrote a little script to remind myself of all the details, because there was a ton of things I kind of small forgot about during this process. in their first response back, where I asked them for the information on it, the title of the card in the subject of the paragraph was a 2024 Terrestrial Festival, basically the SAR Moonbryon, and I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, something's really weird going on here. And I had to get more information, and now I'm convinced that, like, at this point, another Arceus Dialga Palkia had been sent in, and maybe they just swapped it with that, because the note was specifically from the grader, there was a vertical bend bottom half. And I was like, that's impossible. A bend? An actual bend. Like a scratch I didn't see, or whitening, I'd believe that. A bend? That's insane. Like, I can't even imagine. And so anyway, I can see in the uploaded shots that they do when they get done with your card, they upload them onto their database, that I was like, I can't see this bend anywhere. So I kind of just accepted defeat at this point and just thought I just made light of it. And I was just like, it's kind of funny. It got a 5. It's kind of a funny ass number. Until I got it back. And it took me a while. I don't know, days. But I kept looking it over. Because, I mean, if you've not seen this one when we pulled it, I'll try to get, like, every reflection on it as I talk about it. This thing truly was just about as clean as it gets. Like, I scanned the texture on this for a long, long time to see if there was even, like, a damage in the ridges on the texture. So, I'm going to throw the screenshot up to highlight it. But what I'm also going to try and do is get the reflection in this video on it. And one night I finally found it. You can probably already see this running scratch right here in the card that goes up an insane amount on this back end. And right here next to my finger is where they're calling the bend. This little spot right here, which is not a bend, but it's more like an indent. So, the more I kept looking at the card, the more I noticed all the scratches along the bottom. And now, I am, like, totally convinced that they damaged my card. But I don't know really how at this point to prove it, besides, they could claim that it got damaged, in shipping and handling or something along those lines. And part of me was paranoid that I missed it in looking at, or not, when I got it out of the Beckett and then put it into the new shipping place, that I didn't really look at it in the sleeve long enough to find if Beckett had done it either. So yeah, I was like, oh my god. So I'm like, all right, well, what happens here? And I really didn't know what to do, but I was like, I'm just gonna be assertive with the fact that I know it's them. And this is the funny part. If they hadn't done what I'm about to tell you, I don't know if I would have had enough proof. So, Beckett, when they receive the card, and then they first do it, they also take pictures upon reception of the card. And sure as shit, they took pictures of it still in the Beckett sleeve that they take it out of, and then out of the sleeve, and then once in the slab. And as you'll see in the pictures that I put on the screen, guess what wasn't there? And it is visible in those pics. When they received it, the scratch was nowhere on it, in or out of the Beckett sleeve. I felt so rejoiced by this. I circled it. I think the screenshot I'm going to do is going to be the one that is of the circle. And I sent it back to them. They took a little bit to respond, but they pretty much admitted defeat almost immediately. And while they never really said outright, because I think legally that would just destroy them if they sent me an email. I don't think I'll be showing emails. I know it's probably so far into this, you may have seen them by now. I don't think I'll be showing emails. I don't really think there's a point. Plus, who wants to read text on a screen anyway? And they came back with an okay, fair thing to do, and then I didn't even know this was an option because I had been talking to the Grim Ripper. Shout out to him. He helped a lot through this process of like what to do, how to handle this, because the guy is incredibly knowledgeable with grading. Definitely go check out his videos on grading. But it was a decent offer in the sense that they could. The first part was what they could send it back as. They could take it out of the slab for me and resend it in, you know, completely very secure packaging back and just give me the card back raw. They could keep it as is, or they can do what I chose. And I'll go over why I chose this. But I didn't know this was a possible thing. They can just send a card without a grade and just it be labeled authentic. Which, for me, for a card that's never going to leave my possession anyway, and I didn't care about the value, this was about as good as it gets, because this now just solidifies the uniqueness of this story and the fact that I always, for some reason, have weird shit go on with my graded cards. Like this Moonbryon back here is a 10 that's actually damaged in the case that we found out that it got damaged after it had put in the case because someone dropped it while in the slab so hard it shifted and actually dented the back of it. I have a bunch of weird stuff with all my stuff. I don't know how I get so unlucky with graded cards. Like here, this is my 10 Japanese 151 Mew. You can see this black dot. Well, focus camera. That's right where my thumb is. There it goes. Yeah, this black dot, that's very obvious. No clue. No clue. Anyway. So, that was that. And then what they agreed to do was pay me the difference. Or pay me out the difference minus the value of the current card to a Beckett 9. Which I couldn't argue anything higher than that because it just becomes all, you know, kind of you can't, there's nothing tangible to like saying it's worth any more than that. Like it got the 9 and they were already offering it as fair. And then they also offered me free expedited grading in the future, which brings me to my final thoughts of this. I am someone who is not, you know, a big grader in general, and I'm not saying don't grade your cards, but I am saying make sure you have pictures every step of the way. Document everything you possibly can, because I never thought this was real and it happened to me. Luckily, like I said, I don't care about this value of this card because it'll always be with me. It means a ton to me. That's why I kept the box it came out of. So this is literally the best case scenario that I possibly could have had, but I know other people, I'm sure most everyone else would care about the value, and I don't wish this on anybody. This is crazy awful. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. You know, if you've just joined us, really would appreciate like and subscribe, and not really more for anything from me on this. True, the like would really help, help more people see this video. And if you're having issues with PSA, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to help too, because I can totally get why people would just give up and think there's no hope in remedying their situation. So please, please, please leave a comment on that. And I have no idea when this is going up. So also, I usually do giveaways on the channel if you're new. There's always one going on. I have no idea what the entry criteria would be. So if you also want to enter the giveaway and you did choose to subscribe as well, greatly appreciated. Just ask me what the giveaway entry criteria is and I will let you know. And yeah, I mean, I'm still happy I have this card, and I'm happy I have it in this thing, and it's one of the best openings of all time. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this was informative to some of you guys, and I will see you next time.